don't think the flowers around Mother Mary were ever decoration. Not the roses, not the lilies, any of them. For most of my life, I assumed they were symbols. Paintings, stained glass statues, beautiful but decorative. Then, about a year ago, I started asking a different question. What if they were never symbols at all? What if they were instructions, an invitation to remember something we've forgotten? If we've never met, I'm Kara Hanks. My work is about helping people remove the interference between their mind and their heart. So their inner wisdom, not their conditioning, is what leads. And that's exactly what this video is about. Because the thing I believe we've forgotten is this. Radiance isn't something we achieve. It's what naturally emerges the moment we remember who we are. Divine beings of light, made of the same creation we keep admiring instead of relating to. I believe Mother Mary has been quietly pointing us back to that all along, and she's been doing it through flowers. If this is the kind of thing you're drawn to, where faith, creation, and remembrance meet, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. It's a small thing that helps me keep making more of this. My relationship with flowers as medicine didn't begin as a spiritual practice. It began when I became a mother. As an infant, my son, my firstborn, struggled with anxiety. He cried constantly. And like any mother, I was simply looking for something that would help him feel safe in his own little body. A practitioner recommended several flower essences, and one of them was called Baby Blue Eyes. I'll never forget smiling when I heard its name because my son had the biggest, brightest blue eyes. It felt almost poetic. I couldn't explain why those flower essences helped him. I only knew they did. They brought a calm that allowed him to finally settle into himself. And looking back, that was really my first invitation. Not into flower essences, into relationship with the flowers themselves. And at the time, I didn't recognize it. Life moved on. The flowers quietly faded into the background until they found me again. Years later, I became very sick. My heart became severely inflamed, and for months, my world became very small. I couldn't exercise. I couldn't push myself. I couldn't distract myself by staying busy. My body asked me to become still, and in that stillness, I found myself sitting among the flowers I had planted years before. Maybe the flowers found me. I spent hours in my gardens, building mandalas from the blossoms growing around my home, and those mandalas slowly became altars, places of prayer, places of healing, places that nudged me to consider and eventually change the way I see the world. Creation isn't simply something we look at. It's something we enter into relationship with. This relationship works with us in unique ways, opening us to possibilities we likely wouldn't see on our own. Over this past year, I've had the privilege of immersing myself in the teachings of the Marys through the Seven Sisters Mystery School, founded by a woman named Marguerite. Her last name is a mouthful, so I'll just say, if this resonates with you, please look her up. She's extraordinary. As I prayed, as I studied, as I contemplated Mother Mary, I found myself returning to my fascination with her connection to flowers, Magdalene's alabaster jar, and the presence of fragrance through essential oils. Why are flowers so deeply woven into the stories of the Marys? Not just the rose, flowers. At first, I assumed they were symbolic, but the more time I spent in prayer and contemplation, the more I sensed something different. I don't believe Mother Mary simply appreciated flowers because they were beautiful. I believe she lived in relationship with creation. When I contemplate Mother Mary, I don't imagine someone who walked through a garden admiring what God had made. I imagine a woman who knew the language of creation, the language of the flowers. A woman who understood that every flower, every tree, stream, mountain reveals something about our known universe as living expressions of divine creativity. Each flower carries its own intelligence, personality, its own way of revealing and expressing itself through the many faces of the flowers. They're inviting us to come into deeper relationship with ourselves, with creation, and the cosmos. I think somewhere along the way, we've forgotten how to be in relationship with nature. We're very good at looking at it, at photographing it, and walking through it, studying it, but relationship is different. Relationship asks us to slow down, to listen, to notice, to receive. And Mother Mary embodied this through the way she lived. She illuminates a pathway where the heart leads and the mind follows. Two aspects of self working coherently as one, the feminine and the masculine in right relationship, where women remember their rightful place within the world, and where nature gently mirrors back the truth of who we already are. When I sit with a flower today, I don't simply see color or notice the fragrance. I see a unique expression of creation. I understand its personality as a living being and feel its consciousness, its own full expression of unapologetically becoming what it was wholly created to be. And isn't that our invitation too? There's a reason the rose has been so deeply connected with Mother Mary throughout history. While its beauty is something to revere, it also has something to teach us about loving, living, and healing our own heart. The rose is soft, and yet it carries thorns and teaches us that tenderness doesn't require self-abandonment, that compassion doesn't mean living without boundaries, that beauty and strength are not opposites. When I sit quietly with the presence of Mother Mary, this is who I see. A woman whose heart remained open without collapsing, who loved deeply without losing herself, who remained devoted without abandoning her own humanity. The rose quietly embodies and reflects that way of being. Petal by petal, it unfolds, never rushing, striving, forcing, but simply responding to the light. Perhaps that's how our own hearts were meant to unfold. The more I walk this path, the less interested I become in collecting spiritual information, and the more interested I become in my own relationship with spirituality, with my higher power, Mother Earth, all her creations, and my own heart. I believe remembrance happens in relationship, in letting go of striving and performance for presence. So the next time you pass a flower, pause. Don't ask what it symbolizes. Ask what it might be revealing to you. Perhaps it might help you remember one small piece of yourself that you've forgotten. And maybe that's what Mother Mary has been quietly inviting us into all along. A life where the heart leads, where creation becomes our companion, and where our own radiance naturally emerges because we are remembering who we are. If this stirred something in you, I want to invite you deeper into it. The cart for the rose immersion is open right now. A guided journey into the rose, the flower essence, and this same practice of remembrance created to help you go deeper into everything that we've talked about today. You'll find the link below in the description. If this conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, has there ever been a moment when nature mirrored something back to you that changed the way you saw yourself or God? I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, may you continue remembering, may you continue unfolding, and may you walk in relationship with the beautiful living world that has been speaking to you all along.